Oh dear. You know, just when I thought the nightmares were over, I really hope this isn't scormy as bad as the original. For those of you who don't know, this is the True Literature Club mod. It focuses on sort of kind of paying attention to all the different characters' issues and addressing them in a kind of wholesome sort of way. The author has assured me, not me personally, but everybody, that this mod is not depressing. So, I don't know, he could be trolling, but let's just have a look. See. I have that there. That's fine. Let's go. My name is Joel. I don't know if it carries on from before or the beginning of the story is the same as the original DDLc. So I'm giving you the option of skipping that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea actually. I was a bit worried about this. Except the poem minigame, since that affects later events. All of the new content happens after the decision point for who you spend the weekend with. I do want to skip the content for this one because I'm doing mainly just the mods. Okay. I'll do this the way I feel like doing, and I'll just go with whatever I think. Okay. Most of my words tend to go with Yuri, so.
Eternity. Depression. Oh, of course you would jump for that. We have the stars, no? Imagination. Or essence. That's nice. Judgment. Misfortune. Precious. Insight. Suicide. Oh, okay. Time. It's a very abstract concept, isn't it? Existence. I'm gonna fast forward this bit. Yeah, philosophy. That's good. Oh, incongruent. I like that one. It's a prayer. Crimson. And destiny.
Sayuri likes your poem. Natsuki dislikes your poem. Yuri loves your poem. Okay. I'm gonna skip through all these. So Yuri likes your poem. Natsuki dislikes your poem. Natsuki is so upset she doesn't want to show you her poem. Yuri loves your poem. Natsuki is so immature. Ugh, whatever. I'll keep going. Infinity. Well, infinite. So Yuri likes your poem, but she seems to be upset about something and leaves the club early today. Natsuki doesn't want to share poems with you today. Yuri loves your poem. Alright, time to decide who to spend the weekend with. The moment you've all been waiting for. Everyone looks straight at me. But of course, I'm going to go with... oh, why is Monica not on there? Oh, whatever. I feel like this is incredibly difficult. Maybe I should go with Natsuki because no, I'll go with Yuri because I don't know, man. We'll go with Yuri. Why not? The start of the Yuri's route is the same. What is your choice? You're aware. I'm sure you guys are aware what happens in this, so there's no point carrying on. I'll skip to the new content. You make decorations together and now she's getting ready to leave. I understand why. It sounds like she really gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. No doubt. I help her out by washing the paintbrushes. As I'm rinsing them off in the sink, I reflect on how the day went. Yuri is definitely an unusual girl, but I'm finding myself really enjoying spending time with her. Makes me smile to think how much more relaxed and open she's becoming as she gets more comfortable. I kind of feel like it could be good to invite her over again sometime. I start to work up the courage to ask her as I come back into my room. Yuri is once again hastily rolling her sleeve back down. This time I see what was... oh dear. I'll save this. This time I see what was under her sleeve. I almost dropped the paintbrushes in surprise. Yuri, what happened to your arm? I didn't mean to sound so alarmed. I was just too shocked about what I saw to stop myself. Yuri looks panicked. Understandable. It's nothing. It's nothing, really. That didn't look like nothing. Yuri's looking more panicked now. She's fidgeting more than ever. She's breathing more heavily. She looks like she's hyperventilating. She looks very much like she would just like to disappear, and yet she seems rooted to the spot. Yes, well done, protagonist. Or Joan, I'll call you. You seem to have activated her freeze response. Okay, keep breathing. Try to relax. I kind of feel hypocritical saying that. I'm having trouble staying calm myself. But it was the only thing I could think to say. My mind is still racing from what I just saw and what it means. I only caught a glimpse of it. Those cuts on her arm. Most looked old, healed over. But one looked fresh. I shudder at the thought. Did she do this to herself? Did she do it today? I kind of don't want her to freak out any more than she already is. But at the same time, I feel like this might be really important to talk about. So I try to keep myself together. Yuri, it's okay. I'm sorry for being so surprised. Let's just both try to stay calm and let's talk, okay? I better save. Yuri still seems to be having trouble forming sentences. She's unable to make eye contact. While I silently wait for her to collect herself. I figure she needs me to be patient with her at the moment. You don't have to apologize. Yeah, let's sit down. I gesture towards the bed. She glances over and then reluctantly sits. I was hoping it would make her more comfortable, but she still seems very tense, hunched over as if she's trying to make herself as small as possible. Still fidgeting with her sleeves. I don't know if it was a good idea to sit next to her while she's in this state. So I'll sit on the chair at my desk while I think of what to say. Really, there's only one question on my mind, but I don't know if I could bring myself to ask it. Maybe not. Maybe. It's hard to read her expression. Her face is partially hidden by her hair. The moment draws on in silence, the tension hanging heavily in the air. Finally, she speaks first. I guess I can't hide it anymore. How much of a sick freak I am. Yuri, no, you're not. You just... I trail off. I completely fail of a way to end that sentence. People already call me freak because of other things. This was one thing nobody knew about me. Okay, well, I won't tell anyone if you don't want me to. She quickly glances up at me where she's sitting. Her expression is still hard to read, but somehow, almost imperceptibly, she seems to relax a little. Though it's possible I'm just imagining it. She speaks quietly. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for you to see that, Joel. You must think I'm... Yuri, I don't think any less of you, okay? You just... Well... I mean, okay, you have a problem. But everyone has problems, right? Everyone has stuff that they struggle with. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Not like this. People don't have problems like this. I don't think I can wait any longer. I asked the question that I've been burning to ask. Yuri, did you try to kill yourself? Suddenly Yuri looks up with renewed alarm. No! Oh, no, nothing like that. It's just that, She seems to be hyperventilating again. I'm too bewildered to speak at first. I'm not sure what response I was expecting, but it wasn't that. Whoa, okay, I believe you, Okay. Maybe I should give her more time, but I have to know. But why? Why would you do this to yourself, Yuri? Yuri seems to be forcing herself to speak. Because it's real. It makes me feel real. That didn't make sense, did it? I'm sorry. I'm saying weird things again. I don't know if I can explain it. Well, I think we're past the point of talking about unusual things. You could talk to me about it if you want. I promise I won't judge. Yuri still looks uncertain. Okay, look. Let me show you something. I opened the drawer as she tried to look in earlier. I show her what's inside. Manga. Complete sets, all in good condition. I collect them. They could be worth a lot of money someday. And I've read every one of them, more times than I'd like to admit. I could never tell anyone. I'd probably die of shame. People in my class already make fun of me if they find out I even have a passing interest in manga. So, there. Now you know my secret. I smile in what I hope is a reassuring way. I suppose I would find that embarrassing too. Oh, finally we get some music. I think I see a faint smile on her face. Thanks. But obviously this is different. Well, yeah. I know it doesn't really compare, but I just... You seem a little freaked out, and I wanted you to feel more comfortable. Yuri visibly relaxes more when I say that. Thank you. You're being really nice to me. Better than I would have expected. I'm just treating you the way you deserve. I get the feeling that this is something you feel really, really embarrassed about. And no one deserves to feel like that. Yuri seems to consider this. I suppose so. And I suppose I should try to give you a better answer to your earlier question. But for that you need to understand something about me. My other secret. She glances at me, seemingly gauging my reaction. You see, I'm autistic. Now I'm really confused. But Yuri, you can't be. I mean, you're so smart. Yuri actually looks irritated at that. And in an instant, a total change comes over her. All her nervousness and embarrassment vanishes to be replaced by her intense expression she wears when she talks about books. There's a lot of misinformation about autism in the media, so it's understandable you might think that. But no. Autism and intelligence are not mutually exclusive. A lot of people think that if you're autistic, you have some kind of disability. It's why I don't usually talk about it. But it's not like that. It's more like my brain processes thoughts and emotions differently than neurotypical people. What? Normal people. This causes me to interpret the world in a different way. I see things and feel things differently, but it doesn't diminish my intelligence. I never would have thought Yuri was autistic. I knew she was a little different, but I put it down to extreme social anxiety and stuff. There's a lot of things I could relate to her, but I never thought she was actually autistic. Of course, this isn't canon. This is, like, largely speculation. Okay. Let me save. Oh, okay, I'm sorry for assuming. I guess I never thought about it before. Well, like I said, that's understandable. I always knew I was different. I've tried my whole life to fit in, to pretend to be normal. I always thought there was something wrong with me. I always got made fun of in school for being weird. One day I discovered an article about autism and it changed everything for me. And suddenly everything in my life made sense. Then I obsessively read everything I could about autism to better understand myself. It explains why I have difficulty in social situations. I'm always second-guessing myself because I continually have to ask myself, is this what a normal person would say? And it explains why my mind gets so fixated on certain ideas. And certain activities like a particular book. Or my collection. It gets a little intense inside my head sometimes. And it explains why I compulsively seek out sensory stimulation. I'm always looking for pleasing sensations to calm myself. The book I read call it stimming. The books I read call it stimming. I always feel like I don't know what to do with my hands. It helps to have long hair like this. At least playing with my hair seems to be somewhat socially acceptable. Oh, so you become quite the opportunist. I see. More so than, well... This is probably going to look silly. With a sigh, she reaches up with both hands and taps rhythmically on the top of her head. She actually demonstrates a surprisingly level of dexterity with the rapidity of her movements. The display only lasts a few seconds, but it's kind of mesmerizing to watch. She giggles, the colour rising in her cheeks. I know it looks strange, but I know it, but it feels so good. Something about the sensation and the sound together just tickles a part of my brain that makes me happy. But obviously, I can't normally do that in front of people. That's something I learned a long time ago when I saw people's reactions when I did it in school. I'm sorry if it looked weird. I'm impressed. Huh? No, really, you could be a drummer. You've got a good sense of rhythm. Yeah, well, I'd never thought of that before. I'll take it into consideration. So you're saying this has to do with what you did to your arm? Well, no, not exactly. I mean... And just like that, Yuri's confidence vanishes again. Well, way to go, protagonist. I feel so bad for him, because he doesn't know. He has no idea, does he? He doesn't know. It's not... I don't know, maybe I'm sorry, I'm not used to talking about this. Yuri takes a deep breath to steady herself, and she tries again. Keep breathing. To be honest, I don't fully understand my urges. It didn't come up in any of my reading. Self-harm is not in itself an autistic trait. My autism is part of who I am, and it's hard to separate those aspects of myself. I frequently find myself compulsively seeking stimulation. So it's possible that this is just another form of stimming. Extreme stimming, huh? So something like that. I don't know for sure. I just know that sometimes my mind is a roiling storm of activity. I feel disconnected from reality. Almost as though I belong in another world or something like that. I don't know if that will make sense to you, but it's the only way I can think to explain it. Well, it does sound kind of spooky, but I suppose it also explains why you like books so much. It's another way of visiting other worlds for you, I suppose. From what I've read, what I'm experiencing is called dissociation. Though I usually just tell people I'm spacing out. That seems to be a more socially acceptable phrase to use. You know, the creators of this mod, they really did think this one through. I'm actually quite pleased with this. And yes, it can be scary sometimes. And I've discovered that in those moments, pain brings my mind back into focus. Ooh, this is interesting. This is not what I initially thought this was going to be. It gives me a feeling of clarity. It was honestly an accident the first time I did it. I was cutting bread and I got lost in my thoughts and the knife slipped. And ever since then, every once in a while, the urge comes back again. Oh, like the poem. She mentioned slicing bread or something and the raccoon was there, and that's the urge that comes to follow her. I get it. Very good devs. 10 out of 10. And ever since then, once it up, yeah. I'm sorry if this sounds creepy or anything like that. Now, can we just focus on her face for a minute? That's actually kind of creepy. Like, that's really... I know she's meant to look nervous, but oh my god, like, it does actually unsettle me a little bit. Anyway, I've never actually talked to anyone about this before. It's okay, really. I can see this is difficult for you to talk about. Take your time. I'm just glad to get to know you better. I mean, okay, this has been a lot more than I was expecting today. But in a funny sort of way, I feel honoured that I'm the first person you've talked to about this. So, thank you for sharing. Yuri looks down, blushing, seemingly trying to process this. I'm pleased to hear it, Joel. Excuse me. But sometimes I get quite disgusted with myself. While I'm in the act of doing it, it feels right. But in my more clear-headed moments, her voice breaks. She's hiding her face, but I can see that she's close to tears. I look at what I've done to myself, and I wonder all over again what's wrong with me. And it's hard to imagine anyone liking me. So it's very surreal that you're taking this so well. I keep expecting at any moment you'll tell me to leave and to never speak to you again. I really wouldn't blame you if you did. No, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, yeah, the conversation went in a very different direction than I was expected. But overall, I've enjoyed the time we spent together today. She looks at me again. Are you sure? Well, yeah, I mean, sure, things got pretty heavy at the end, but other than that, you need to stop saying that, Protag. I enjoyed our time making decorations together. I wouldn't mind doing it again. I mean, I wouldn't mind spending time with you again, if you want to. I think I would like that. Good. That being said, it would probably be good for you to find an alternative to, Yuri says in a small voice, to cutting myself? Yes, there's that. I mean, I can't claim to understand what you're going through, but there has to be a better way, because that doesn't look healthy. Yuri looks down again, embarrassed. I suppose not. Could you maybe talk to your doctor about it? Yuri looks flustered. I don't know. I've never talked to her about anything like that before. Maybe you could ask her if she knows a psychotherapist or something. I mean, no offense, but you could probably use some help from someone who knows about these sorts of things. And it sounds like there's a lot going on in your head to talk about too. Yuri still looks uncertain. Okay. Well, in any case, now that I know about it, maybe I can help you come up with something else to do when you get the urge. Is this gonna take the turn where I think it's gonna take the turn? Nah, I doubt it. But then again, you don't know. I mean, this wasn't made by Team Salvato, you know. The mod, you know. Just saying, just super saying. Okay, what about the painting you did today? You seem to enjoy that. I don't normally paint, but now that you mention it, I suppose I did find that rather calming. It was nice to have an activity to occupy myself and keep my mind focused. Well, there you go, that's something. Can you think of anything else? Well, earlier today, when you used that hot towel on my neck, that felt nice. It felt really, really nice. That went in a different direction than I was expecting. I awkwardly stammer. I was gonna say something like taking up drumming. I say that half jokingly to cover the awkward moment. Yes, I suppose that could work too. I made things weird again, didn't I? I'm sorry. No, I mean, I liked it too. Yuri blushes furiously. Oh, I can feel the colour rising in my own cheeks as well. There's another awkward pause. Well, perhaps I should seek professional help after all. That's probably a good idea. You and I, we're still friends, right? She gazes at me with a sad but hopeful expression. I realise that she's still scared that I'm going to push her away. I give her a reassuring smile. Of course we are. She looks relieved. I'm glad. I was wondering, I mean, if it's okay, could we... She takes a deep breath. Ah, I wasn't expecting that. May I give you a hug? I can't help but smile. Yeah, but you and I both. That's exactly what I just did. How is she so freaking... she caters to your nurturing side, doesn't she? How is she so freaking adorable? Yeah, yes you may, Yuri. I stand up. She eagerly stands and steps forward to envelop me in her arms. I'm immediately conscious of how much body heat she's putting off. It's as if there's some kind of raging inferno inside of her. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm really happy that we're friends. It means more to me than words can say. I can't seem to find any words either. I can only nod, my face half buried in her shoulder. Give it a save. I suddenly notice just how tall she is. I think she might even be taller than me. We stand like that for several seconds. Her hands rub my back as though she's trying to get as much out of the hug as she can. Oh, that's... Oh. That's sweet. Finally we release each other. Oh, it just seems like she's been really deprived. Anyway. But it really is time for me to go now. I'm getting hungry, so I should go home and so I can get started on dinner. Okay. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her to the front door. Thank you very much for having me over today. No problem, I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. And I meant what I said earlier. Whenever you want, you can come over, or we can go out somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful, John. I really like that about you. Yuri takes a step closer to me and then briefly squeezes my hand. I'll see you at the festival tomorrow. Yeah, see ya. And with that, she walks away, faintly humming to herself. Okay. I save. I'm actually unsure how long I've been recording, so I'm gonna end this here. Wow, that was a nice little intimate display there. Very, very interesting interactions indeed. The biggest thing for me is the fact that Yuri seems to be very... it's so sad. My heart goes out to the character, the archetype, and what this person's going through, even though it's not real. The empathy, you know, the empathy. And I think this is what this mod is going to go for. She just seems so, like, deprived of affection, of love, of company, of understanding. But yet she hasn't given up on it, because at the opportunity, she did a brave step, asked for a hug. Protagonist obviously gave it to her, because, you know, protagonist, he's not going to refuse, you know what I'm saying. And she, you know, and the detail was on the fact that she kind of relinquished the opportunity and longed for it, and was almost rejoicing in it, and maximising the opportunity as much as she could. It's fascinating, that is fascinating. Very well, I hope you carry on with the next part with me. It's, you know, more reading with John. I hope you like the voices I'm doing. I'm keeping it subtle. So I'll see you later. Get lost.
Here we go.
Alright, how we doing? We're doing good. Alright, let's go. I hope you're all doing okay. Well, I hope you're doing okay. That's right, I'm singularly addressing you as a single person. How does that feel, huh? More personal? Okay. Anyway, I'll try not to make sure you can hear my throat so much. There was a bit of a problem last time. I'll just shove my head back. Anyway, it's the day of the festival. I got a real dry throat. You know, I'm just gonna down some water. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry. We're back. After making sure the paint is dry on the banner. Whew. Sorry, guys. If you hear my breathing accelerate, sometimes I get quite anxious. so sometimes it'll flare up, and sometimes I really just don't know why. After making sure the paint is dry in the banner, I gently gather it up to take it to school. I send Sayuri my usual "wake up dummy" text. Shortly after, she texts back 5 more minutes. I've had enough experience of her 5 more minutes text to know there's no point in waiting for her. I wouldn't have minded having her help, but that's fine, I can carry the banner on my own. I text her back to know I'll meet her at the festival. As I walk through the school, I see all the various clubs setting up for the festival. I pass by the anime club, where it looks like they've set up a marathon of my favourite anime. Roll save. I would love to stay and watch, but I really need to deliver this banner. As I enter the club room, I recognise the jasmine smell of Yuri's diffuser filling the air. You know, I always wanted to try one of them, you know. You know, I do think aromatherapy does have some benefits for the body, but, you know. Monika is laying out pamphlets on each of the desks. Natsuki is setting up cupcakes on platters for guests. They're laid out in a kaleidoscope of different colours. And Yuri is putting up black paper in the windows. Joan! Thank you for bringing this. I'll get started on it right away. Here, you can help me put up the curtain. She gestures towards the ribbons and origami paper that she has all lined up as she lays the banner across the floor at the front of the room. She gets to work, painting her message as I hang the ribbons in the doorway. Before long, I have the origami curtain complete. I had a weird image in my mind when I first heard them talk about the festival. I thought it was going to be in a big hall, but if this is based on Japanese schools, which I don't know much about, I'm assuming it's like all like different rooms that they're going to kind of just host their club in and show off their sort of societies, if you will. I don't know why I had it in my head. It was going to be like a big hall that was full of all of the you know what I mean. The ribbon shimmer in low light. It's a nice effect. I look over at Yuri where she's hanging up her finished message. It says, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." Do you like it? It's from Oscar Wilde. I was feeling a little inspired by our time together yesterday. Perhaps being myself isn't as bad and scary as I made it out to be. You seem to have a bit of paint on your necklace there. Oh, do I? I wonder how that happened. Really, Yuri? Really? Subtle. There's a towel on that desk if you wouldn't mind. I see how the towel is placed a conspicuously placed basin of water. I'm sure that getting paint on her was no accident, but I'll play along. Yeah, let me help you with that. I took the towel in water, which is surprisingly warm. I gently towel off her neck. Suddenly Sayuri bursts through the curtain of the door. Okay, I'm gonna do this voice. Whee! So sparkly. I love it. She runs back through it again. Whee! And again. Whee! It's good to see Sayuri so cheerful again. I guess last Friday really was just a one-time thing. Sayuri, quit being such a dummy. Oh, okay. Oh, this has got to be like stern, I think. Sayuri, good. Now we're all here. Okay, everyone. I hope all of you are ready to perform your poems. Sayuri seems to be brightened up at the prospect of sharing poems. Natsuki has a resigned but determined look on her face. Yuri just shudders and looks very pale. I put a reassuring hand on her shoulder. You can do it, Yuri. She nods, still looking anxious. As president, I think it makes the most sense for me to go first, so... I'll go first. Everyone looks surprised. Well, I won't stop you then. That actually works well, because it will give me the chance to greet visitors. Speaking of which, it looks like we have our first guest at the door. Monika goes to greet them. Hi there, come in. We're the Literature Club. Have a cupcake. Monika introduces herself and invites people to sit down for the performance. I guess that means it's time for Yuri to recite her poem. Good luck, Yuri. She gives me a very nervous smile as she moves to the podium in front of the room. Good image choice. That's exactly what I imagined. As she starts to recite her poem, she's visibly shaking from apprehension. But like before, she quickly regains her confidence. Her voice builds in intensity until a particularly dramatic moment, at which point she glances at me as she drums rhythmically on the podium with her hands. It could have been corny, but somehow she blends the movement in seamlessly with the climax of her poem. When she finishes, I make sure to start the applause, just in case people forget like last time. After awkwardly taking a bow, she rushes back into the audience to sit next to me. She's still shaking, but flushed with excitement as she whispers to me, "I did it!" Monica carries on with introductions and moving the performance along, but my attention is occupied with Yuri as we carry on our whispered conversation. "That was great, Yuri. I liked your little audition at the end." Yuri chuckles. "It felt right, so I went with it." "What made you decide to go first? I didn't know you had it, didn't you?" "Well, our conversation yesterday made me think about a lot of things. I spent so much of my life feeling ashamed of myself. It made me be afraid to put myself out there and let the world see me. And I suppose I just wanted to throw myself into a situation where I can't hide. To prove that sorry, I've gone retarded. To prove up myself that I could do it and survive. It was scary, but it was also exhilarating. And I have to thank you for giving me the courage to do it." "Wow, I'm glad I could have that effect on you, Yuri. Also, I'd like to take you up on your offer." "My offer?" "After the festival, if it's alright with you, I think it might be nice to come over and read together." I'm surprised at Yuri's frankness. She didn't even hesitate or blush like she usually does. "Sure, Yuri. Sounds like a good time." Is it gonna skip? The rest of the festival carries on, but it's all just a blur to me. Ah, he's excited. I find myself reflecting on that moment. Knowing that I may have brought about a positive change in someone's life is a good feeling. It's funny now to think that I didn't even want to be in this club at first. I wonder what my second week will bring. What do you mean, end? Oh, I get it. Right. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. There's a hidden route to Monica in this mod. Oh, ooh, is there? Okay. All you have to do is make the other 3 girls like you. You start the game and dedicate 1 poem to each girl, while making sure no one dislikes you enough not to share their poems. Oh, okay, so keep it neutral. Ooh. Oh, I'll keep Natsuki. Okay, I get it. Yeah, okay. If they all like you, Monica will surely take notice of your popularity. Good luck. Jeez, okay. Right, let's end this here. I'm just going to attach this on the other part. So ignore that, We're gonna carry on. We are gonna carry on. Jeez. We've got a bit more to go through.